no one, I mean no one, who knew that when I was coming out, unless they had played on a high level. And as I mentioned, I didn't know of anybody who did. So I had a unique advantage. Nowadays, that's not the case. There are ladies out there who right now know more football than I do, simply because they've been able to study it and read about it. And it's everywhere out there. And it's amazing to me, not surprising, but amazing to me how much people know about football who had never been involved in the game.
Yeah, that is a big difference. Either, people that haven't played. There's these. I know in baseball it's a big thing with advanced metrics and statistics and things, but it seems like it's also in football. And there's all kinds of analysis you could do.
Yes.
You always hear about players that get big money and then it's gone. They spend it foolishly or whatever. Did you ever help in that, or were you just concerned about negotiating their contract?
No, you're concerned about all of it. Now, I never invested for players, except one time, Mark May, my oldest client, my buddy and little brother, and we went into sometime, I think it was way back then, an oil and gas deal. Unfortunately, he got his money out of it. But if we didn't, I would have heard it for the rest of my life. And I still sometimes hear it because we didn't make a lot of money on it. And it's one of those things to where it's against the rules, really, unless you're registered as an investment advisor to represent players in investments. To me, the guys that do that are looking for kickbacks. They're looking for fees paid to them for insurance policies and for stocks and things of that nature. And it just shouldn't take place out there. A player should have his own advisors in investments.
Yeah. It's just a shame that they make all that money and then they end up broke or something like that with poor decisions or something like that. Especially what a football player goes through.
Well, I can see where it happens because I have a few habits of my own that I tend to like old time artifacts, old guns, maybe a General Custer or Wyatt Earp or one of those guys, and some of the presidential items that I see for sale, I could almost bankrupt myself. President Kennedy's bomber coat, as an example. So I get the urge there, but fortunately, I have a wife that knows better.
So, do you? You're in California now, right?
I am in California. Yes, I had a procedure done here. That my doctor that I had been using at the Cleveland Clinic ended up down in La Jolla, and so I had my procedure done here in California.
Oh, okay. So do you come to Pittsburgh a lot?
Oh, sure. My residence is in Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh is my home. I've just not been able to take full advantage of it recently. I'm not complaining right now because it's nice outside and I know cold back there. But Pittsburgh's my home.
Yeah, it's about to get, I think, 36 degrees right now, and we're about to start getting all the snow and all that good stuff. So maybe stay a little bit in California some a little bit longer. All right, sir. Thank you so much, Ralph Cindrich. His book is NFL Brawler, a player turned agent, 40 years in the bloody trenches of the National Football League. Thank you so much. I still can't believe I got you on.
Well, thank you, Joe. And let's do a follow-up on this. I don't know how many you have in your podcast yet, but at some point when you feel comfortable and something needs to be addressed, give me a call. I'm happy to go on. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have a feeling this situation is going to get even crazier, so maybe I will follow up on this.
Feel free. Good talking with you, Joe. You take care.
All right, thank you. You too. Steelers with a huge blowout win on Thursday night over the Carolina Panthers, 52-21. With me to talk about it is Lindell Whirling. She's at Steelers FGSN of the Fangirl Sports Network. Lindell, how you doing?
I am having a wonderful evening, and It has been so long since there's been just such a great, strong presence by the Steelers like we saw tonight. It's totally taking me into the weekend on a very high note.
When they have these Thursday night games, I think it's unfair for the players. They get such short rest, but then after the game, they get a week and a half off, which is nice, and we get the weekend off. We get
Right.
New Orleans, at least from a Steelers perspective. So, I can't remember such a blowout. I don't remember the last time they scored 52 points. This is amazing.
Because it's never happened. Isn't this the highest scoring game at Heinz Field ever?
I believe I heard that. Yeah.
So I am delighted that it was on a Thursday and all my attention was focused on it because it's going to be a great memory.
It is. And coming into the game, before the game, how did you think it was going to go?
I don't want to say I was nervous. I thought it was going to be very close, and I thought it was going to be an offensive showdown. But I really felt like the Steelers were going to get it done. There's something happening with the team. The cylinders are all in line. The players are jiving with each other, and they've become a team. They've become a traditional Steeler team. We didn't see that the first couple of weeks this year, but now I believe they're who they are going to be for the rest of the season. Not a whole bunch more change.
Speaking of change, hopefully a certain running back decides to stay away.
Did you have any opportunity to kind of see what was going on Twitter? There were a couple of funny anecdotes about him on Twitter.
What with the upside down tweets or
no?
What tonight?
Tonight he had a tweet that said "Time to pass the sticks." And a lot of people did not know what the meaning of the sticks was. And it's a Madden reference in video gaming. When over 21 points is scored, you're supposed to pass on your joysticks to the next person because you're an awful player. So a lot of the older journalists were asking, what does this mean? And it just became so incredibly funny. And then one of the tweets that responded to him was, "Hold my beer." And that's the one I just started laughing at. He clowned himself, but he also kind of clowned some of the older guys. So, he just can't go away, I believe, is the point of this.
Oh man, there was 5 more days or whatever until
yes.
reports. Maybe he'll just go away. Maybe this will all be over in a few days. I'm just so sick of it. I've spent so much time talking about that guy, and I'm just so tired of.
And underneath all of it, I have a twinge of guilt because I sort of feel like even talking about him is some kind of personal assault on James Conner, who I love. So I'm with you. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I just want to focus on what James is doing and how he came in as the underdog and showed Le'Veon's not everything. And you got to give everybody a chance. Hard work pays off.
It's amazing. I love James Conner to death. I followed his career for a long time, but I never dreamed he would have been this good. He would have dominated so great in the NFL.
I'm with you. Absolutely.
It's beautiful. It's a great thing, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. I hope he's okay. I think it kind of looked like he got hurt, maybe a concussion or something like that. But then again, he has a week and a half to heal, so hopefully he'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. It was possibly a concussion that they want to evaluate him for. So I'm not super worried about it because if he was able to go back out, he's probably okay, just needs some rest. And I think, like to your point, a week and a half is going to be a great rest period for him.
Yeah. But Ben Roethlisberger, perfection. It cannot get any better. 22 of 25 for 328 yards, 5 touchdowns.
With a broken finger.
With a broken finger.
Hold, please.
Oh man, just he looked amazing. The start of the game, Carolina just drives down the field like it's like the defense forgot. It's like they were running late. It was like Antonio Brown running late for a meeting or something. And
Paging the Steeler defense.
yeah, hello, guys,
Party
come
at
on in the
12.
field, come in the field. And it's like, oh boy, here we go. And then immediately, one play, Ben hits Juju, and it's like, okay, here we go. And
Game on.
Game on. We
I
might have
raise you one touchdown.
yeah. Another hold my beer moment. And then
Right.
and then the defense comes up with a pick six, and it just.
The unraveling began, to your point, immediately. I did not expect to see a pick because they were talking about how great Cam has been with ball control and ball protection. And then you can come to Heinz Field.
Yeah. That throw, like, I don't know what he was thinking. It was basically like early Christmas or something.
Right. It was kind of on par with the one throw that Ben had the first game of the season in Cleveland, where the comments were, it was kind of a YOLO moment. You only live once. Let's just try this. It's like that player knew better. Both of them know better than to do that. And then it had the serious repercussions of the other team scoring. So I'm with you. Right when that happened, I kind of went, wait, this game is not a give me.
Yeah. It's just.
It's been
amazing.
crazy.
The last time we talked, it was after the Kansas City game, and it was a whole different mood.
I know, it was sad. And I do recall kind of thinking, I can't live through the whole season this way. I need my team back. I know they're better than this. And it just took a little while for everything to line up properly for them this year.
I wonder if it was because in the beginning of the year they didn't run that much, and I don't know if that was dictated by situation or they didn't trust Connor yet or what.
I think you're right because I do remember hearing some criticism. His hands need to get better, and these kinds of things that led to the conclusion being unspoken that he just wasn't ready for that responsibility. But, they didn't really give him a chance either. So as soon as they did, then this magic just came out of the bottle, and it's never been contained since that time.
It's funny in football how if one thing gets taken away, it kind of breaks the whole team. Like when they weren't able to run, it kind of messed up the offense. The offense couldn't do much, and they would do the 3 and outs, and then it messed up the defense because they were out there too long. But then when everything's working right, it just all works together.
That's true. And that's the thing about a team. You always have to be building because, to your point, the team is in rhythm and in synchronicity. Then when you take something away, when something breaks, when there's an injury, there has to be something that replaces it. And so you're back into trial and plan B and figuring out how to make the machine move in that motion again.
Yeah. And one thing the Steelers are good at, and I'm going to credit Coach Tomlin for this, is that next man up mentality. Even like what was it last week against the Ravens? Ben was hurt on that one play.
Right. Josh
Dobbs comes in and maybe has the play of the game that saves them. That 22-yard pass. Yeah. And it's credit to Dobbs, but it's also credit to the coaches for coaching them up during the during the week to get them ready for those things. So. It's always been a trait of the Steelers, and that's a great thing.
Absolutely. Do you feel like there's going to be some magic with Dobbs that we have yet to see? I mean, he was kind of the same story that we have with Connor. No one really knew how good he was when we had the preseason feeling in that game that he was going to be cut, and he was kept, and Landry Jones got cut. So I'm always cautiously optimistic because we know of the greatness and the solidness in duress that you have with Ben Roethlisberger. But I do think you're right. They're coaching and priming Josh Dobbs to be just as solid. And I think there's going to be some magic there that people aren't aware of.
I have to admit, when they got rid of Landry Jones, I thought